Hi there, and welcome to one of the most beautiful castles in the northeast of Scotland. This is Craigievar. You can see its pink turrets, and well, apparently it's one of the castles that was the inspiration for Walt Disney's fairy tale castle that you see at the start of all the films. It's currently run by the National Trust for Scotland, and you can get access by private tour. It's a beautiful castle, and I thoroughly recommend coming to the northeast of Scotland to come and have a look. But Craigievar isn't just famous for its castle. No, we're in absolutely beautiful grounds. You can see this ancient tree behind me, and I'm sheltering from the wind a wee bit so you can hear me. And I've just been up there, up on the hill, going for a nice long walk. Well, that made me think of a story that I know about a young lady called Kittie Rankie, or French Kate. She was a maid that had come over to serve one of the high ladies in this part of Aberdeenshire, and it was rumoured that she had the gift of second sight. She had the gift of the spaewives, but of course in those days she wasn't known as that. She was known as a witch. The lady of the house summoned Kate to her. "My husband has been away on business for a very long time. I do not trust him. The people say that you have gifts. They say that you can cure, that you know things that you should not. Can you use your abilities to help me find out where he is?" "Oh, yes, ma'am," said Kate, and off she went to her quarters, where she scried the whereabouts of the lady's husband. And she did not find him alone. She did not find him on business. She found him out on his boat, taking a trip with his lover. She went back to the lady and broke the news. And the lady flew into a fit of rage. "How could he? How dare he be unfaithful to me?" she said. And in a moment of anger, she said to Kate, "Is there anything you can do, that I can get my revenge on him? Maybe something can be done, madam. Is this something that you want to do?" said Kate. "Yes," said the lady. "Well then, if you can see to it that a barrel of salt water is brought up to the attic room, I'll see what I can do." A barrel of salt water from the ocean was brought to the castle, and at Kate's behest it was taken up to one of the attic rooms, and then she asked for the master's bowl, the wooden bowl from which he would sup his food. She placed the bowl on top of the salt water, and that night, as the moon came out and it got dark, she started to mutter incantations over and over again, and at first it had no effect, but she kept going and she kept going late into the night. And as it did that, a storm rose, and the wind blew around outside, and you can imagine the thunder and the lightning. Slowly, the water in the barrel started to rock, to move back and forth, to make tiny little waves within the barrel. The water within the barrel became choppier and choppier. The barrel, full of water, became the sea that the husband's boat was sailing on. His boat being the wooden bowl that was rocked back and forth until eventually water filled that plate, that bowl, and the bowl sank to the bottom of the barrel. Kate came down the stairs and said to her lady, "It has been done, mistress." Weeks later, the news came to the lady that her husband, his crew, and his lover had been drowned at sea in a terrible storm, a storm that had risen from nowhere, the same night as Kittie Rankie had done her work, and that the boat had just rested at the bottom of the ocean, just like the Lord's bowl. Slightly regretting her actions, the lady pointed the finger at Kittie Rankie. "She did it. She did it. She killed my husband, and she told everybody about the barrel of salt water, about the bowl, about the incantations, the murmuring, the muttering, and the storm that rose. And Kate was taken as a witch, as many were in Scotland. She was taken up onto one of the hills round about these parts, and there she was burned at the stake. The story tells that her ghost still haunts the area, and it is for that reason that I'm going to leave you now before it gets dark. I hope that you enjoy this story, and maybe I'll have some more for you in the future. But in the meantime, do come up here, do visit Craigievar Castle, but don't stay around long enough to see the ghost of Kittie Rankie.